months ago, I found a guy from my chemistry class had wanted to become friends with me. Truthfully, I thought he was kind of a jerk, and I didn't really like him all that much. But he sent me a friend request online, so I accepted it. I mean, it's not like I was going to say no, and could have gotten awkward at school, especially if he told any of his friends, who were also my friends online. It would have sucked if they all started talking trash about me behind my back. Or worse, if they had just dropped me from their friends list completely. I didn't want to go losing any friends. Laura faces a problem of her invisibility to her so-called friends in 368 Friends by Bradley Walton. There was this play that we had written in English class, which I found kind of funny because it was actually a French play that had been translated in English. It was called No Exit by a guy named Jean-Paul Sartre. It was about these three people who had died and gone to hell, only there was no fire or brimstone or really anything like that. It was pretty much these three people in a room, and basically they didn't like each other. So that was our hell. At least that's what the teacher had told us. All I got out of it was there was three people in a room and it was kind of boring. But still, whenever I actually thought back on what the teacher had told me, it made me feel good about what I actually had. I had friends. I had lots of them. And I could go on the computer and look up what I actually had every time I started to feel down about myself. When I was little, it actually didn't seem like I had any. But then my parents got me my own computer, and I got older, and I started networking. It was just like a whole new world had opened up to me. There was this guy that I really liked, named Steven. You know, I thought he was really cute, and so I started to look to see who was online, and my stomach just did a flip when I saw Steven's name. This was it. This was my chance to connect with him. It was just with the click of a button. It was the hardest time I've ever had clicking a button in my entire life. I stared at the computer screen for about half an hour, and finally, somehow, I did it. I sent the friend request. I felt so happy. And then I started freaking out, wondering why I had done it. But less than 10 minutes later, a message showed up on my computer. Steven had accepted my friend request. Oh boy, did that feel good. I felt like that little kid at the circus who had just been begging for that cotton candy, and the mom just got the biggest one on the rack. But really, none of my friends ever actually talked to me. And I don't know what made me start to notice it, that maybe things weren't really the way that I thought. Maybe it was just sitting by myself at lunch, watching Steven and his friends, and noticing how they didn't even seem to notice me. Or how whoever sat next to me on the bus, normally somebody was my friend online, how we actually had nothing to say to each other. And I'd go home and I'd look at that number, and I'd find myself having to stare at it harder and harder. And no matter how hard I stared at it though, it just wasn't helping. So I went and I clicked on the tab to update my status, and I said that I was sad. That was it. There was no need to actually write a book. Nobody actually commented on my stuff. And I guess that my stuff wasn't really worth commenting on, but I thought that maybe someone would have said something to this. But what is that really? Saying that you're sad? I guess some people don't exactly know how to respond to that. I guess you could say, cheer up, or that things would get better, or whatever else could make somebody feel better. But Nobody even said anything. And I went on and I tried not to let it get to me. But still, somehow it did. And I went online again. And I posted that I was feeling depressed. I was sure that somebody would have said something this time. Nobody did, and I stared at the computer screen for about 4 hours, and then I went to bed, checked it again before school, and still nothing. Didn't anyone even notice my post? The way I was slouching, avoiding eye contact? Didn't anyone even care? So that night, I went and I posted that I was thinking about killing myself. I don't see why nobody even responded. And I just went on with a normal day, but about 2 hours ago, I posted that at 10 o'clock tonight, that I'm just gonna sit at the base of the slide and swallow a bottle of pills. To my mild surprise, 3 of my friends actually chimed in, telling me not to do it and that things would get better. But no one even called my house. If anything, I even had a new friend. From our class, my number was up to 369. And nothing. Started going to the park a couple minutes early, and so I could think and just walk around and look at the stars. Thought that maybe I could talk to God or the stars or something like that, see what I could get out and maybe try to stop myself. This isn't any fair. Why would you give me life like this? I can't even talk to anyone. Nobody even talks to me. I can't go home without feeling like something's wrong. Why would you make somebody's life so unfair? Why would you make somebody to where they don't even express their own feelings other than on their freaking technology? Look at me, talking to the satellites, the very things that control our own lives. Thanks a lot. It's 10:02 now.